welcome to a tutorial on Fusion360. This particular tutorial, we're going to look at how to model a simple dice that you would use for a board game project. You can see on the screen I have the completed model, and I'm orbiting around using the shift and a middle mouse button to orbit around. So let's dive in and look at how to create this. I'm going to create a new design, and the very first thing you want to do is create a sketch. When you click Create Sketch in Fusion 360, the first thing Fusion wants to know is what coordinate plane you want to draw the sketch on. And for this example, we want to draw it on the bottom plane. Once you have selected the plane, you can then use some of the sketch tools. So we're going to start with a simple center rectangle. Click the center or the origin and pull out. At this stage, you can enter in the dimensions straight away, which I'm going to do. So I'll just type 30 and press the tab key, 30, to give me a perfect square, and then I'll press enter. You can see there's dimension 30 and 30, and also we have the sketch here in the center. But how about transforming this 2D sketch into a 3D sketch? Well, we can use the push-pull command, which is the shortcut for that is the letter Q. When I press the letter Q, you'll see that the push-pull menu appears. Now I'm going to switch my view here with the view cube to home so that I can just get a better perspective of the sketch. And then I'm going to touch the face of the sketch to let Fusion know that is the face I want to extrude or make 3D. You can grab the arrow and start pulling it up, or you can be more precise, which is what we always want to do, and type in the specific measurement. I'm typing 30 so that we have a perfect cube. Now we are going to create these rounded edges on the cube, and in product design that's called adding fillets, and you can quickly add fillets by using the shortcut F, but you can also use the push-pull command to create fillets. So I'm going to press the letter Q again to activate push-pull, and then tell Fusion what are the edges of this object that I want to add fillets to. And you can see, you can actually, like a ghost, you can see through this face through to the other edge. Or you could just simply rotate around so that you can grab the other edges. You'll know they are selected when they change from black to blue. So here I have all of my edges selected, and now Fusion is waiting for me to add a fillet radius. So I'm going to use 5 and press enter. And there we have a cube with filleted corners or edges. So how about adding the numbers to the die? Well, we're just going to simply use circles, and we're going to go back to the home view and then the top view, and I'm going to use this view cube every time I need to add numbers to a different side of the die. It's a very, very useful tool to make sure you are selecting the correct face to draw the circles on. So I'm going to begin with the front face. I'll go up here to the sketch tools, choose circle, a center diameter circle. Note that the shortcut key is C. Press circle, and once you press the sketch tool again, you need to tell Fusion what part of the model you want to sketch on. In this case, I'm going to select the middle face. I'm then going to zoom in, find the approximate center, click, and drag out a circle. Now before I click again, Fusion will wait for me to input a diameter measurement for the circle. So I'm going to do that by typing in 5 and pressing enter twice. Now you see I have a circle It is 5 millimeters, sorry, in diameter. And if you want to change the diameter, it's very simple. You can just double click on the measurement and perhaps you want to change that to 3. And I quite like 3, so I'm going to keep it there. And we now want to give the circle some depth. And so we're going to extrude, but this time we're going to extrude inside. So that would be a negative extrusion. So again, I'll press the keyboard shortcut Q for push-pull. I'm just going to orbit the model slightly so you can see how that works. Select the circle, and I could bring the arrow the opposite direction. You'll see the values are changing, and I actually like 2. That looks good to me. So I'm just going to press enter. And now we have the first number on our die. Now how about adding the others? What I strongly recommend is, again, you use the view cube to rotate around the different parts of the model. So I'm now going to flip this over, and on this face I'm going to press the letter C, touch the face, and I'm going to create 2 circles to represent the number 2. So each of these will be 3 millimeters. So enter twice, press C again, and I can see here that this is, I can use the grid as a reference. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 4 squares away, and then I'll start to create the next circle. Let's extrude those. Press the letter Q, and just slightly orbit, touch both those faces, and this time I'll just input -2, press enter. And there you have it, number 2. The process is going to repeat. I'll flip over the die, press the letter C for circle, and then add 1 into the center. That's 3. And then press C again to add more. C again. 3. Okay, now this is a good example where we can see how we might have to move one of these sketches because they're not equidistant from one another. So actually a really good way to control distances of parts of your models is to use the dimension tool, and the shortcut is the letter D. So if I press the letter D, I'm going to say that from the midpoint of this circle to this circle, and then pull out, I want that distance to be 5. And then again with the letter D, the midpoint of this circle to this circle, again I want the distance to be 5. Okay, and I'm going to extrude those now, or I might have to shift them all down slightly. I can do that with the move tool. So I noticed that this is not quite centered. So I press the M for the move and select the objects I want to move. Then the direction, so I'm going to move down vertically, click the direction, and then I'm going to just move them down like that, press OK. I'll extrude them by pressing Q, change them to a slightly different orientation, U, U, and U, -2. Okay, so that's basically it. You can create the rest of the numbers on the die using the following methods. I hope that this tutorial is helpful, and let me know if there's something in particular you would like to learn when we come together in class.